let's get ourselves busy. So let's go to Power BI and let's get ourselves busy. Let me first of all off my camera so that we'll be able to see the screen very well. Okay, now this is Power BI, right? This is a Power BI desktop. This is where we build our visuals. These are our visualization. We call this thing pane. So this is our filter pane. These are filter pane. These are visualization pane where you pick any type of chart that you want. And these are our data pane. So for every data that you load, you'll see them here. So for now, I'm not loading any data. We just want to play around with the visualization. So I'm not loading any data because we are not building any visuals. So for now, I'm going to close the 3 pane. Right, so I want to set up my workspace just like the same way we clean up our Excel. If you remember, in Excel we do a little bit of cleanup. So let me go to view. If I go to view, I'll come to page view and fit to width, or let me say, yes, I'll fit it to width, and let me reduce it a little bit. So if you reduce it, you should have something that looks like this. It's going to fit this box, this dotted line. That is where you build your visuals. So we call it canvas. So canvas is where you build your visuals, and the background outside the canvas, we call it wallpaper. So outside here now, it's wallpaper. Inside this dotted line, we call it canvas. That is where we build our visual. So no matter what you are building, it cannot go outside. For instance, let's say I need a chart, and let me just pick a start this chart. You'll see it cannot move out of this line. It cannot move out of this line, so I can only move it around within this line. So this place that you build your visual is called the canvas. So it's called the canvas. So this is the place that we build our visuals. So that is the canvas. So let's do a little bit of setup in our canvas. Right, so we have build visuals here, and you have formats. So this one will format the background. So there are 2 types of formats. So you can format your chart. So you have your formatting here for your chart. This is further analysis. If you want to add it, you can click on it and search analytical reports. But this one is just for you to format your visuals. That is probably your charts, your table, your matrix, your card, your slicer, whatever. This particular format is for you to format your chart. But the moment you click outside the chart, you have another format here for you to format the particular page. So I'm going to delete this one for now, and let's format our what is it called? Okay, let's format our canvas first. So let's come to format your report page. So if I click on format your report page, this is where you see your page information. So you see your page information, your page name. You can give your page name here, right? You can give your page name here. You can say, or you come here, down here where you have page 1. You right click and you rename it. You can say first visuals, first visual, first visuals, first visuals. So you can give it your name here, and you can see automatically the name change here. You can add tips. So if you turn on the 2 tips, you can add your tips to the page, but we are not adding any tips. So I'll turn it off. You can turn on your Q&A, your question and answer. Then you can type in your question right here, whatever you want. You can type it right here. That's that, but we are not doing that. So that is your page information. This is your canvas setting. So it's for you to set your canvas. You can see my canvas is set to 16 by 9, right? So we have the width as 16 and the height as 9. So you can change it to 4 by 3. So this will be 4 by 3. I remember that time when I was learning photography. So I have 4 by 6 paper. So we use that to print passports, both local and international passports. But here we have 4 by 3. You can change it to letter size, which is equivalent to like your A4 paper. So you have your letter size here. Let's go back to our visuals, our canvas setting. You can change it to 2 tips, but I'm not using that, and you can customize it too. You can click on custom, then you put in the size that you want to use as the height, and you put in the size that you want to use as the width. But for now, I'll just change it back to 16 by 9, which is basically what we use almost every time. And you can see our canvas is aligned to the top. So if I reduce this, you can see our canvas is aligned to the top. This is place that we build our reports, where we build our visuals, is aligned to the top. So you can change the alignment majorly. Most of the time, I normally put mine in the middle. So whether you put it at the top or you put it in the middle, it doesn't matter. It all depends on how you like it. But for me, if I want to build a visuals, I'll put it in the middle. So you can put it in the middle for you to build your visuals. That is your canvas setting. And if you need any setting that you see that, oh, I think I don't like it, you can restore it back to default. This restore to default that you can do right here. Now the next thing is the canvas background. So if you want to give background to your canvas, you come here to canvas background. You can see that our transparency level is at the highest, so which means there is no any fill here. It's just plain color. There is nothing inside it because we've reduced the transparency level. If I change my color to something else, let me see, light purple. Now nothing happened. That's because our transparency level is at the highest, but the moment we reduce the transparency, you should see something that looks like this, and you see this type of shadow. That is why I love, I just love something like this. So you see this type of shadow around your canvas. So you see it here. But let's say you have a background that you always use for your visuals. Maybe your company has a particular background they use to build your visuals as a template or something. So you can bring in pictures as your background. So I can say I want to use picture as my background, and I'll just go for, let me just go for a picture. Let's say I'm going for this picture, and I'll just click on it. I have it in my visuals. So this is my background, and if it's too much for you, you can reduce the transparency level. You can still reduce it, and here you go. You have your transparency level reduced, so you can reduce it to the lowest at all. Remove the background totally, that is by reducing the transparency. But for me, I hardly use this, so I'd rather remove it and turn it back to normal. But before I actually, let me bring it back. Let me bring it back, and I'll just choose this. I'll return it back to normal. So you can actually fit it. If you see that it's not fit, you can say it should fit in. So it's going to fit into your page. That depends on the size of background that you are using. That depends on the size of background that you are using. So you can fit it in, or you can say you should just fill it up for you. But I'll just leave it in normal. But for me, I'm not using it, so I'll just return it. So I will turn this back to normal. Now for the wallpaper, it's talking about the background right here. You know, I said this place is wallpaper. This place where you build your visual is called the canvas, right? This place where you build your visuals is called the canvas. Here, the back is called the wallpaper. So you can add a color to the wallpaper and say you want your wallpaper to be something a little bit harsh. You can have something like this on your wallpaper. You can have a wallpaper like this. You can have a wallpaper, and you can even have an image as your wallpaper. So you can have an image as your wallpaper. So you can increase the transparency of your wallpaper, and you can reduce the transparency of your wallpaper. So you can browse it. You can add an image. This is for you to add an image to your wallpaper, which is background. I think let me go for this and see. Ooh, it's not so good for me. Let me try fit. Let me see feel. Oh wow, this is nice. So I will have a fine girl as the background. It's like normal day to start your background with fine girls. Don't look at me as a bad boy. My mommy is here. Sorry, oh mommy, I'm not a bad boy. I'm just kidding. I don't like girls that much. My mommy is here now. Madam Olaronke is there so that she will not flog me. So, I finally announced my mommy in the building. Just, I'm just waiting for her to accept me as her son. I don't know if I'm qualified, but mind you, mommy, know that I know sabi buku. I don't know buku. So, I have that as my background, so don't let me say another thing before my mommy will come and flog me, yeah? So I always, mostly my visualization is all about playing because there's nothing in visualization. So it's just all about playing, 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 playing. So that's that. You can add that as your background. And anyhow you want it, it's your choice. So that's your wallpaper. Oh my god. Close. Ah, wow. So this is my wallpaper, and I'll just remove this. I don't need it. So that is that. You can reset it back to default, but for now, I think I'll just leave it like this. Makes sense like this, right? So now your filter pane, this place is your filter pane. This is your filter pane. So you can decide to come here and the text, my text. Let's say I want it to be in hatch color. Wow, it has changed. You text and icon. Let me change it to black. Let me see black. It's back to normal. I don't want to use that color. So I'm going to reduce it. You can increase your text too. This is your text. You can increase it. You can see it's increasing, but I'll just leave it in 12 that it was before. Yes, that's your text. You can change the color. You have your inputs. These, which are these? Your inputs. So this is your box that you have here. You can change the input box to, let me change it to arch. This is for your search. This is for your search. So my header, which is the filter, I can increase the size. You can see that it's keep on increasing. I can increase it, but I think it's good at 9. So I just leave it back. Your search box, I'll come here. You can increase your search box here. You can see that it's increasing, but for now I'll just reduce it back to normal. Yeah, 11 is fine. Let me see 10. Okay, cool. I'll put it in 10. Now your border, this is your border line. It's turned on. If you don't like it, you can turn it off. Then it's going to remove your line that's there. You can decide to turn it on. You can see the border line. You can decide to turn it off, on and off, and you can open it and change your border color to something else, but I think it relates to this background, so I'll leave it like that. Now the background of your filter, you come here to your background. You can see our background is white, and it's also white, and our transparency is 0, so which means it's not using any transparency. So let's say I want to change it to the same color that everything is, and I will turn off this one, and boom, we have something that looks like this. We have something that looks like this for your filter. Are you enjoying the class? Are you learning something? Are we still together? Are we still together? Are we still together? Are you learning something? Are you learning something? Okay. Nice one. You need to tell us how you get a picture. Whoosh! You are not serious, Mr. Christopher. You are not serious. Which picture? My mommy is here. You want my mommy to flog me? So I think I'll just turn off the line back to demarcate it from the filter, and I'll turn off. You have your options here. How you want your paint to be, how big you want it. You can see this. If you increase the size to be big like this, you see it keep on increasing, and you can reduce the size of your filter to this. Apply checkbox. If you have a checkbox here, you can return it back to normal, and I will just leave it like that. And your filter card, if you are using a filter card, you can play around with it. If you have a filter card that you are using, you can play around with it, but for now I'll just leave it as normal. So that is that about your background, your wallpaper, and I think I've explained everything right here. So let's start building our visuals because of those that want to watch football. So let's just build a template, a small template. So let me insert. We have a shape here also. So if I come to insert, if you have an image here, and in this image, if I insert an image that I want it to link to the next page, so let's start with text box. You can pick your text box. It's going to automatically draw it for you. That's why I love Power BI. But the issue with this text box is moving. If you are not good with it, you won't be able to move it immediately. But to move it, you have to come to this edge and make sure that you can see. If I click on it, let me click on it and make sure that I select it. Now I can come here and drag it around. So you have to be very, very careful when dragging your text box or your shape. You have to move to the edge where you'll be able to pick it up. Now to pick it is an issue, but you always pick it, trust me. It's not something that is so hard like that. You don't have to be scared. So text box and your shape, they are like the same thing. But what a text box, like I explained to you in Excel, is just to write a movable text. So it's to write a movable text. So let's say right here I want to write my first visual report. My first visual report. So I will highlight it, then I will change the font size to 24. Let me see. Yes, 24 is fine. Then I'll centralize it. Let me see how it looks. If I click outside of it, okay. Let's see if we can add more things to it. Let's add a color, and you need to highlight it though. So let's come here and add a color, and let me see this color. Let's see. I'm not so good with colors, but I think I will. Let me change this color to something else. Control A, and let me see another color. Let's see. Well. Let's say I want to go with this. Let's see. Cool. I think this is a little bit nice. Let me make it bold. Control A. Then you have your bold here. You can make it bold. Let me see another font. You have your font right here where you can choose another font. Tahoma. Pick it out. Let me see. Wow, this is a little bit nice. So I think I'll just go for this. Now your format, your text box and your shape have the same formatting. So you have your properties here, the height, the width, right? You have those one. You have your positioning, how you want to position it horizontally, vertically. You have it. You have your padding right here, how you want to pad it. You have it. At the top padding is 5 pixel, the right padding is 5 pixel, the left padding is 5 pixel, and the bottom padding is 5 pixel. So you can increase or decrease it, but on enhance I don't do all that. I'll just leave it like that. Advanced option, you can leave it like this. Maintain layer order. So if you want the responsiveness, let me turn off this, and it does not allow me to turn off the responsiveness. So that means I need to update it. So my WhatsApp is out. I said my WhatsApp. My So you have your title. If you have a title that you want to give to it, you can actually write a title here, the display title. You can write it here, hello world. So this will automatically create another thing for you. This will create another text for you. As you can see, we have hello world right here as my title, but for me, I hardly put title, so I'll just leave it like that, blank. So this is for you to format your title. You can format your title, but for me, because I use a text box, I don't have to add any title. So title will just add extra text for me. But because I'm using a text box, I'll just leave it. Once I type my text there, you can put your background color for the title, your text color for your title, but I'm not doing any of those. And here you have your text wrap also. So if your title is a little bit longer, you can wrap it. You remember wrapping in Excel, so it's the same thing that you have right here. It's just that the positioning is a little bit different. You can add subtitle, you can have divider, you can do your spacing right here. You can do your spacing, but I'm not doing any of those, so I'll just turn it off. And the most fun part is the effects. You can bring your background color right here. Let me go with a little bit of ash color. Oh, wow. Let me see. So I can have ash color right here as my background. So let me add a little bit of shadow. So my effects, I'll just leave it like this. If you want to reduce the transparency, you can actually reduce the transparency. You can reduce the transparency to be a little bit lighter, deeper. Let me see this. Okay, I think this makes sense a little bit. You can see whatever I'm doing, it does not allow you to go beyond this my canvas. You can see you have space to do your things. This is just everything that you have from here down to here. So that is your space that you have. They will give you a space. So I think I'll go with this. Let's go down. You have your border color. Yeah, you can add a border. I can turn on my border. I can say I want a border color of black, and I want the edge to be rounded corner. Let me just increase the corner so that you'll be able to preview very well. Now you can see I have a rounded corner. So what I will do here is I don't want the border color. So what I'll do here is I will my border color. Let me see this effects. So I think this is taking me to another place I don't want. So what I'll just do is this is my border color. I'll just turn it back to normal the way it was, and I don't have it again. That's because I'm using the same color with the page, with the reports, with my text box. So let me just widen it a little bit. Okay, now here we have it, right? Okay, let's see what else we can still do. I said I want to add a shadow. So let me scroll down. And right here we have our shadow. So I can turn on my shadow. And as you can see, automatically I have my shadow in the background. But I think I will remove the rounded edge. So let me come to effects. This visual border, let me just turn it off to return it back to normal. Let me see. Yes, I have it back to normal, which is just increase it back to normal. I think I have something to work with. So this will serve as my header, right? This will serve as my header. For that, let's see what we can also do with the effects. You can change your shadow color right here. You have your shadow, so you can change the color to something else. But for now, I'll just leave it the way it is. But you have your shadow color that you can change. The offset, how you want it to be, I think I will use inside. Let me see inside. No, let me see. Wow, let me see this inside. Let's see how it looks. Doesn't make sense like that. So my effects, I'll come here to my shadow, and I will think I'll go with outside. I'll go with outside. So I'll go with outside. Then I have outside here. My shadow position, I'll just put it at the bottom. So I'll say bottom. So now I have the shadow straight at the bottom, but I think this shadow is too much. So what I will do right here is come to my effect again and come here. Let me scroll down. That is what they gave me to use. So I don't have a choice. So if it is Excel, there are ways we can reduce our shadows and stuff like that. But let me come to formats. Well, they do not put it there. So let's go back to our house and play with it. So now that is the shadow. Let me close my effects. My header option, if you have an header that you have, if you create an header, you can put an header option, your background color for the header, your border, your icon color if you have an icon, but I will turn off my header option, I don't use it. My alternate text, which is alt text, so I don't use alt text, alternate text for my visuals, for my text box, but if you want to give like a description of this particular text box, you can pick a description here. So are we on the same page? Are we on the same page? Yes or no? Okay. Okay. We are enjoying ourselves, right? We are learning something and we are also playing around. This is just playing around with it. So we are just playing around. People are already leaving because of Nigeria match. Or is it network? Okay, let's continue. Now let's pick a shape. So if I come to insert or insert, okay, the next one is a button, right? The next thing is a button. Well, I think I'll come back to the button, but let me just talk about it immediately. So you can pick a left arrow, a right arrow, a reset arrow, a back arrow, information arrow, help, Q&A, a bookmark, a blank that doesn't do anything. You can clear all slides out, but let's go with the right arrow, which is going to put this for me. So this is a right arrow. And if you click on your button like this, if you click on the button, which you put a right arrow, so I think I'll move this one to a little bit somewhere around here, this place. I'll move this one here. So I can decide to change my shape. The state, I'll leave it in default, but you can put it on over. So whereby people can over on it, you can put it on over, but I'll just leave it as the default. I don't really use over. If is I only use over when I'm using it in web design, probably working with WordPress. That is when I use over, which is to create a button on the landing page that you all pass through before you get here. So which is our landing page. So I normally use over on that one. But in my Power BI, I know they send anybody. I don't really use over. I don't use over at all. So your shape, you can change it from rectangle to arrow to chevron arrow to pentagon to art. I never use art. I don't use art. Why? I don't have anybody to send art to. So I don't mind using it. You have hexagon, you have octagon, you have oval, you have parallelogram, pentagon. I can remember all these shapes in school. Peel, you have it. You have a rounded rectangle, a snip tab, top right, both top. You can choose any of these color, just play around with them. Any of this shape, just play around with them and look at the way it is. But on a not, majorly, most of the time, once I pick the button, I'll just leave it like this. So your rounded edge, you can increase it, but for now you won't see anything. So let's go to our general, our effects. Then you can turn on the background. So this will give you the background color, which is color that looks like this, which is a button, right? So what I always do here is after adding a color, I'll now add general. I will add a shadow to it to make it stand out from that page, to make it stand out, that make it look more like a button. So to make it stand out like this. So and I will make it rounded edge. So if I come back here, I will increase the rounded corner. Let me see. Oh, sorry. I'm supposed to do that on general. So if I come here to my effect, visual border, I'll turn it on and come here and change the rounded, make it too much. Let me see this. Make it a rounded edge, something like this. Then I will change the outline color. So I click on it again, come to my general to effect. Then this visual border, I will change the color to the color that I'm using, which is white, so you won't be able to see the border there. Then this will serve as the button to the next page. So if I open the next page, and I will just call this rename, I'll just call this second visual. Then I'll just put let me just pick a shape. Let me just draw shape here, and so let me just put a shape here so you will know that it will lead you to the second page. So now I want to link this button to the second page. So we have something called action. So right here where you have your styling, that you can style it here. You can style it if you want it. If you have a text that you write, that you have here, so I can turn on my text and say next page. Oh, what is next? Next page. So I call it next page. Let me make it bold, and I think I'll reduce it a little bit to 9, and make it a little bit dark, make it black. So I will just do that to next page, so they will know that okay, this button relayed to the next page. Then I will turn on this action. I just click on turn it on. For my action, now it's asking where am I directing them to. So I can say okay, I want it to be page navigation, right? Page navigation. So I can click on page navigation right here. If I use bookmark, let's say I have a bookmark, I can link it to the bookmark, and this will turn on the bookmark for me. Where if I have any bookmark, I'll do it here. But what I'll just do is page navigation. Then it's going to tell me the destination. Where if you want people, let's say whenever they click on this page, you want them to link to a particular website. So all you just have to do is come here to type and change it to web URL. So it's going to ask you to a website. So let me see if I can get digital world websites. I'll say digital world websites. Where is the website? Let me go to the Google My Business and visit our websites and websites. I don't know why the network is so slow. Visit the website. So I'll just copy the URL to the website. I'll copy the URL to the website. Let me scroll down to pause this music before it starts playing now. It does not load. I don't know why it's so slow. Someone is raising hand, right? I'm coming. Let me pause this. Okay. Someone is okay. Oh, okay. Now, once I copy the URL, this is what I'll just do. I will come here to where I have this web URL. Then I'll paste the URL here. So that is, once I click on, I'll just scroll down. Once you have the URL there, whenever anybody click on this page, so you press Control and click on it. If I click on it, it's going to take me to the website. So it's loading it right here. So you can see it has reopened it for me. So if I close this, so it doesn't look like I'm the one that opened it. So if I come here again and press Control, then click on it, so it's going to open it on Google Chrome, which is my default browser. Then it's going to open it up for me. But I'm not doing URL. What I will do here is from action, I'm changing it to a page navigation, and right here the destination will be the second visual, which is this one that I have here, the second visual. So whenever you can see I'm on the first visual, so if I click on this next page now, so I press Control and click on it, so this will take me to the second page. So let's say you build your visual from the first page. From the first page, you are building it. You still have a lot of things on the second page. You can add a button that can lead people to the second page. Hope you get that. So you can do something that looks like this. So let's add our shape. So if I come here, I want to add a shape for the KPI. It's going to help me to draw it, which I don't want. So I'll just reduce it. So this will serve as my KPI, which is what I have right here. I have KPI here, Control C, Control V. I'll duplicate it, and now you have to be careful while dragging it. So I have to, I will hold down my shift to select the second one. So I'll Control C to copy, Control V to paste. Then that's duplicate. Control D doesn't work here. I don't know why the line is not working. Let me arrange this one very well. Then I think I just need one more. Control C, Control C, Control V. Then I'll bring this one right here. I'll put this one right here. I'll hold down my shift to select all. Select all. Then if I come to my format right here, right where I have think alignment, yes, where I have alignment, I will align it to the top, so that it's going to move it to the top, and I will distribute horizontally. So because they are on horizontal, so I will distribute it horizontally, so it's going to help me with the line, with the space inside it. Then what I'll do is to move it myself. So you can play around with the shape, just like the same way we have effect. But if you are playing around with the shape, you have to do it on the first one, so that you'll be able to copy it around. Do you get? So, but that will be your assignment. You can play around with it. You have your rotation. It's still the same thing. So if you want to use a text box or a shape, so as a button, this, all you just have to do is turn on your action. So if you turn on your action, then you can choose where your destination. So whenever anybody click on that particular shape, so it's going to lead them to that one. I think I show you something like that in Excel, and you have the same formatting, just like the same way you have it in this place, in your, what is it called, in the text box. So I've been able to do this. So let me pick another shape. You have an image. So let's say you have an icon that you want to, the icon that looks like a button that you want people to click on to lead to the next page. All you just have to do is import the image. So let me say I want to import this image. So I'll just click on open. Then it's going to open it for me right here. Then I can play around with it. Alright, you also have action for it, whereby whenever anybody click on it. So if I want this one, whenever they click on this one, I want it to lead to the next page. All I just have to do is click here. I will click on the page navigation. So if I click on page navigation, all I just have to do is choose my destination and select. So if you have 5, 6 pages right here, you are going to see the list of your pages right here. But for now, I'll just click on second visual. So if I press Control and click on it, this will lead me to the second page. That will lead me to the second page. But for now, I'm not using image, so I'll just delete it. So I'll delete it. So that is that. So I'll pick a shape again. Let's say I'll go with something like this, like that shape. So this will serve as my filter. This will serve as my filter right here. So this will serve as my filter or slicer whenever I want to use it. So this will serve as filter or slicer. Then I think I'll pick another shape where my chart will be. So this will be my chart. So I'll move it a little bit. Then right here, I can put my chart in here. I can put my charts inside this shape. So this is how to actually build up a template for you to work with in Power BI. Every other thing, all you just have to do is to add your shapes, add your charts, add your slicer. You can just pick a card. So if you need a card, you just pick a card. But because I don't have any data right here, because I'm not showing you with data today, so I'll just reduce this one. So all this one we are still going to play around with it tomorrow. That is how to remove this, so that those that want to go and watch football can go. So I don't want to use myself to delay others because they want to support our countries. So right here I have it right here. So this will be my chart. Tomorrow we are still going to talk more on how to remove the view of your chart, your card, and everything. We are going to play around with it. So I'm going to save this template. This is what we are going to work with tomorrow. So all you just have to do is duplicate this and drop it in another text box, remove the background and play around with it. So we are going to do all this one in tomorrow's class. And your assignment, let me save this because we are going to use it tomorrow. So I'm going to save it on my desktop and I will call it a name. I'm not sending it to the group. Browse this device. Why did I just click on? Yeah, I'll save it on my desktop, and I'll save it on my desktop, and I'll just give it a name: PowerBI templates NW online. So Power BI template online. I'll save it. Now, your assignments, if you want to snap it, you can snap it now before I turn off the screen. Now, your assignments will be tomorrow. Before our class tomorrow, please, those of us that do not work on our assignments, please, let's work on it. We are rounding up our data analysis by the second week of February. So we are just going to use 2 weeks for SQL, because SQL is actually not supposed to be, it's just the basic that we need to teach you in data analysis. If you are going into database management, right, that's when we will go in depth of SQL. But for now, we are just going to do a little bit of basics, how to create your table, how to filter table, and the likes. That is what we are going to do in my SQL. So if you are going into database management, that is when we will talk about, or database engineer, right? That is where we'll talk about a little bit deep into this. So for tonight, if you want to snap it, you can snap this. So your assignment will be, I'm not dropping any link in the group. So I want everybody to see the people that did the assignment and those that will not do it. So I want to know the people that will do it and those that will not do it. So your assignment here is to create a template that looks just to replicate this one that I did here. Replicate it. You can play around with your shades, add your background color, add everything that you want, play around with it, and yes, snap it and drop it in the group. You snap it and drop it in the group before we start our class tomorrow. So I want to say, for the person, Ghanaians, I don't know how to do it. So, but I want to give a New Year gift, right? So the person that has the most beautiful visuals, the most beautiful visual templates, I'm going to give that person a recharge card of 500 naira. That is all I can afford for now. So I'm going to give the person a recharge card of 500 naira for the person that creates the best visual. And if you are the first person that creates the first best visuals, if you are the first person that creates the first best visual, now look, if the person that creates the best visual, we get the 500 naira recharge card. But if you are the first person that creates the best visuals, you are going to win yourself a 1,000 naira recharge card. So if that is for Nigerians, Ghanaians, I'm very sorry, I don't know how to send it to Ghana. So that is that about that. When we go start to have access to our LMS, so we are still working on it. So that is that about that. Any other question? What is URL? A URL is a web address that used to direct a website. Any question for today? People don't they run away, sef. Is there any question for today's class before we call it a day? I will try, but I'm not promising you, but I will try. Any question for today?